โอเคค่ะ
โอเค งั้นเดี๋ยวสักครู่หนึ่งนะคะ เดี๋ยวทางตลาดจะเปิดให้ก่อนนะคะ แล้วเดี๋ยวจะส่งต่อให้ทางบริษัทเริ่มแล้วก็แนะนำตัวได้เลยนะคะ เดี๋ยวตอนนี้เดี๋ยวเราเริ่มกันเลยแล้วก็เรคคอร์ดไว้ก่อน เดี๋ยวระหว่างนี้ถ้ามี investor เข้ามาเดี๋ยวคอยกดรับให้ค่ะ
ได้ค่ะ
โอเค สักครู่นะคะ Good afternoon, investors and corporates. Welcome to Digital Roadshow Year-End 2025 Performance Review. This session will run about 45 minutes, including Q&A. During Q&A, investor may leave your questions in the meeting room chat box or use your raise hand function. We will open your microphone so you can ask the question to the company directly. May I now invite PTT Global Chemical Public Company Limited to start the presentation, please.
Good afternoon, investor. So thank you for joining today's digital roadshow from PTT Global Chemical. So for today, we will have mainly two segments on the presentation, which is on the update of our strategy execution. And the next one will be on the update on the market outlook. So starting first on the strategic execution, this is the update after the result announcement of our year-end result announcement. So we'll be mainly focusing on the current strategic execution, the direction, as well as on the 2026 outlook. And so far, this page is a summary of the current situation, which so far since the starting of the year, we continue to monitor the market situation. And as we know that overall, broadly, the market situation is subject to the trend of the new capacity and the supply that has been added into the petrochemical sector. But if you look at the refinery so far, we expect that for this year, we continue to have a healthy spread outlook, mainly driven by the geopolitical uncertainty, as well as on the limited new supply that we expect for 2026. For the petrochemical side, we expect that for aromatic so far, the beginning of the year has been quite favorable in terms of the spread development, especially for PX, where we see that there will be limited new supply throughout 2026, while at the same time the downstream demand continue to perform quite well, especially for the PTA downstream demand. In terms of the olefin, we still expect that the polyethylene price will be subject to the new supply that will be added in 2026. But at the same time, the price of the crude will also have an impact on that. And as we all know that the situation on that is quite dynamic given the geopolitics uncertainty in the market. So that's why, given the volatility in terms of the market situation, GC will continue to enhance our performance by controlling all the key levers that we have within our control. So that will mainly be in line with our long-term strategic pillar. But at the same time, we will also expect to improve our performance for 2026 as well. So in the next part, we will go into the details of each of these pillars that we are looking to focus on for 2026. The first pillar is on the portfolio transformation, which is an continuing activity that will continue from the previous year, where during those years we have already made some significant progress in terms of the restructuring of Wincorex and PTT SIC. And as you know that for Wincorex last year, we already started to see the reduction in the loss contribution from Wincorex. However, for this year, we expect that we will see further reduction, given that in the first half of last year, Wincorex continued to operate and had some loss contribution. And we expect that there will be an uplift of around 2.4 billion Thai baht to the 2026 performance. In terms of the asset light, which we are executing through the non-core asset monetization, the latest update is that for the first batch of the transaction, which are mainly the tank and the terminal asset disposal, which has been approved by our shareholders in November of last year. We expect that we will book the gain of around 2.3 billion Thai baht at the closing of these two transactions, which we expect that will be within the first quarter of this year. And as for the remaining 20 billion Thai baht of the remaining transaction, we expect that those transactions will continue to materialize over the course of 2026. Within our fourth quarter result announcement, we also made some impairment on additional two business, which are TC Polyols and PTTGC. So for TC Polyols, this is one of the business that is under impact from the new supply addition in China. And at the moment, TC is in the process of evaluating the restructuring as well as the implementation plan, which we expect that we will be complete within 2026. The other entity is PTTGC, which is the joint venture that produce the bioplastic. And as we are aware that during the previous few years, the demand for bioplastic has been impacted by the global economic slowdown, as well as the impact on the inflation on the global consumer spending as well. So due to the slowdown in the demand for these products, so in total, we booked the impairment related to these two entities in total of 2.8 billion Thai baht in the fourth quarter financial statement. The second pillar is focused on the efficiency improvement as well as on the maximizing the production volume and policy optimization as well. So on this page, we are focusing on two main areas, which is to drive the production volume in 2026. Last year was a year where GC had a lot of the scheduled turnaround, especially during the fourth quarter when we had the turnaround of the refinery and the aromatic plants. So for this year, we will not see that much turnaround if we compare to the 2025. For the refinery, we expect that the utilization will increase, and we will see around 16% increase in the sales volume of the refined product. On the petrochemical side, we will only have the shutdown plan of the olefin 4 unit in the first quarter, and aromatics unit 1 in the third quarter. So overall, we expect to see around 8% increase in the petrochemical production volume. In terms of the feedstock optimization, this will also be another key area that will help to enhance our performance. The main one will be on the ethane feedstock, which remain to be the most competitive type of feedstock that GC have. Starting from the beginning of the year in 2026, the ethane agreement price will be revised back to the pre-single pool policy pricing. So we'll see around 3% reduction in the ethane cost, given that the cost structure of the gas separation plant is going to be changed to the single pool, to the utility model policy, which means that the cost for the gas will be based on the Gulf gas, which is lower than the single pool model. So that's why we expect to see this 3% reduction in the ethane costs starting from the beginning of the year. On top of that, we will also see additional volume of ethane, where we expect that given the scheduled turnaround of the plant, the TSP plant during the 2025, the volume of ethane flow available to us was still at around 1.8 million tons. For this year, we expect that the scheduled turnaround will be less, and therefore the volume will increase up to around 1.9 million tons for the whole year. On top of that, in terms of our project to import the ethane from the US, we remain to be on track, and we expect that the startup will begin in 2029 according to plan. We have made significant progress in terms of the EPC contractor selection, as well as the land reclamation in line with our project plan. The next page is on another area that we are focusing on, which is on performance enhancement. Last year, we were able to achieve around more than 7 billion baht in terms of the performance enhancement through the cost saving as well as the margin enhancement. So for this year, we will expect to continue to focus on various areas, which include supply chain optimization, sales and marketing improvement, optimization of our production process, as well as further cost reduction, which in total we expect to deliver around 4 billion baht in the enhancement. And this is also in line with our long-term target for the holistic optimization, which we continue to maintain to achieve our target of $300 million by the year 2030. The other area that is enhancing our performance is on the deleveraging, which we were able to reduce our debt level significantly. So for last year, we reduced our debt level by more than 70 billion baht. So this helped us to reduce our interest expense as well, which if you look at our P&L, you will see that we reduced our interest by around 3 billion baht in 2025. Based on those actions that we already did last year, we will see further reduction to our interest expense by around 2 billion baht in 2026. The next area that will be part of this policy optimization is how we aim to utilize digital technology as part of our effort to reduce costs and enhance the efficiency. So we have quite well developed in terms of our digital strategy roadmap. And one of the key areas that you will see that we will aim to use digital technology as part of our effort is on the optimization of our production process. So we have this project that we call plant-wide optimization, which we aim to introduce the AI technology and the digital automation process to replace the manual work process that we normally use to develop the optimization for our production planning. And on top of that, this process will be done at the whole integrated plant-wide model, which will integrate all the plants that we have within the Mataput area so that we can have more accurate and more real-time adapt to the market condition. So we already started on this project within our refinery in 2025. And for the next 3 to 4 years, we will expand this further into our petrochemical plant, the aromatics, the olefin plant, as well as our downstream plant as well. So the whole project will be completed in 2030, delivering around 170 million baht of benefit per year. The next pillar that we want to focus on is on our next growth plan, which we are showing on this page, the target and the plan that we have for our next, focusing on 2026, which will focus on the growth, volume growth recovery. I think as we know that last year, our next volume was largely impacted by the tariff situation and the global economic slowdown. So for this year, there will be various initiatives to recover this volume growth And the target is that there will be around mid-single digit growth in volume at our next. And that will come from the base volume growth, which is normally in line with the GDP growth. And on top of that, there will also be additional initiative at the various regions. For example, in the US, there is a new production capacity that has been rebuilt in order to capture the growth in the liquid resin additive market. For the Asia Pacific market, we still see that this market is the main growth market, which will have higher growth rate compared to the other regions. So that's why we expect that the facility that we have built over the past few years, we will be able to deliver this growth for us. In China, we have the plant that we call China Hub, which will continue to grow the market. And another new JV plant located in Suhai will start to operate within the first quarter of this year. The India market is also another market that we will have additional facility to ramp up our volume in the country, where we continue to see high growth in the market as well. And outside of that, we also continue to execute the growth platform, which we are leveraging our next technology to expand into new markets such as the additive and the composite market. So outside of the growth aspiration, our next is also looking to reduce the cost structurally as well. So that will focus on the cost related to the back office service center, which is called the Global Business Service Center. We have 3 key centers for each of the continents that we operate in. So with this new center that we just set up in Mexico, we expect that there will be additional cost saving in total of around 7 million euro to be achieved by next year. And the other key project that we have is called Project Helix, which is the long-term project to reduce in total of around 40 million euro for the operating cost for the whole Amnex Group, which is or will include the optimization of the production process as well as the other various overhead as well. Around 25 million euros is expected to be achieved within this year. So the next page is to sum up all the key aspects that we have talked about, which you can see that the controllable action that we are focusing on will be able to enhance our earnings in 2026. So these are areas like volume increase at around 3 billion Thai baht of enhancement. The holistic optimization and enhancement, another 4 billion Thai baht. The portfolio transformation, which will help to reduce the when correct loss, around 2.4 billion Thai baht. And our next strategic action, including the cost reduction as well as the volume growth. And lastly, on the interest cost reduction as a result of our deleveraging plan. So all these are within our control, but of course we will have to monitor the situation on the market spread. And then we expect that that will have the overall impact to our P&L in 2026. The next part will be on the market.
Okay, starting with the key global factor to watch in 2026. As you may know that this year we start with the challenging factors. There's still some volatile geopolitics issue that's likely to continue to impact the global economy. So first here is about the US policy. The US tariff regime under the Section 122 has imposed a universal tax of the rate of 10%, which is effective already in February. So the tariff rates has been reduced globally since February. And second is about the geopolitical issues. So the lately hot issue is about the Iran strikes, which is the prolonged conflicts between the US and Iran tension. So we expect that this may continue as long as the US and Iran meet the concessions together. But however, for GC, we have limited exposure to the Middle East crude oil as the majority of our imported volumes comes from the US and the Asia regions. So even these are the headwinds risks that might affect the commodity markets. Moving on to the tailwinds, we have some China policy that has been launched from the beginning of this year. First is about the tax rebates. China will remove the export tax rebates on certain products starting from April 1st to reduce the export competitiveness on basic chemicals such as the methanol, MEG, PVC, and polyols. So these will lead to the higher price for Chinese producers in the global markets. Second is about the naphtha consumption tax. The new naphtha consumption tax, which will increase production costs for the standalone naphtha crackers, which is about 1/4 of China crackers producers. So the new naphtha consumption tax has not been announced yet, but we believe that this will lead to more cost pressure on the standalone naphtha crackers in this year. So these are the tailwinds that the policy has been announced in China to the petrochemical market. So I will dive into more details about the capacity rationalization in the next page. Okay, so this page is the summarize of the additional closures that we estimated during 2026 to 2030. So we have seen some announcement closures since the 25, but since fourth quarter of last year, we have seen some announcement in Asia, especially from South Korea and Singapore. So this announcement has taken into account to this graph already. So you can see that from the blue one, the new additional capacity, the net capacity surplus will be at around 31.7 million tons. This will offset with the the net capacity for about the net capacity will be about 11.9 million tons. These will offset by the announcement of the plant closure in red. That is totaling to about the 8.3 million tons. So we expected that this will help offset the 11.9 to be 3.6 through 2030. So we have to keep an eye on this. Even this announcement will physically close in the rest of the year and in the future in the next 5 years. But we believe that this will help balance the petrochemical markets in terms of the supply surplus, and we have to closely monitor on the demand side as well. Even the as long as the GDP has picked up in the rest of this year. So I think this is the that is the overall of the GC performance of 2025. If you have any questions, please let us know. Are there any questions? If there's no questions, I think we should conclude the call.
Okay, so if there are any questions, there are no any questions, on behalf of the Stock Exchange of Thailand, we would like to thank you very much, investor and corporate, for joining the event. Thank you very much and have a good day ค่ะ
ขอบคุณค่ะ
ขอบคุณค่ะ